Good afternoon. My name is Robert Manning. I wanted to take this time to thank you for this opportunity for a potential interview. I will be addressing in this video strategies on how to effectively educate students from diverse backgrounds and how I will ensure their success. Let me start off by saying that I believe my short but rewarding educational career has prepared me for these types of situations. I initially started off right out of college as an individual aide in Eastern Suffolk BOCES for one of the more difficult programs, which entailed um, working one-on-one with some of the most difficult students, for a lack of a better term. After that, I quickly rose up and became a teaching assistant. As I pursued my uh, further education, I transferred or switched to William Floyd, where I operated and ran the in school suspension room for 3 years, which was another difficult but rewarding position that I was in. After my time there, I returned back to Eastern Suffolk BOCES, where I now work as Sequoia as what they call a TA bump up, which means I work as the classroom teacher and the facilitator. It is my job and my responsibility to handle all interactions between parents. I handle all IEPs. I handle all CSEs and annual reviews. So I'm well versed in that knowledge. So that being said, let me address the question that was asked directly. How will you effectively educate students from diverse backgrounds? Well, first of all, I think the biggest key, and I think one of my strengths is building a rapport with the students and being able to relate to them and have them understand that their best interest is my priority. It is my goal to establish the relationships with students and have them understand whatever we are doing in the classroom, whether it be instructional or not, my goal is to have them succeed. So, what strategies may I use for this, especially with diverse backgrounds, which through my educational experience, I'm very well versed in? What I would first attempt to do is have creative and varying approaches to instruction, differentiation, scaffolding to ensure that all students' goals are met and that they have the skills to succeed in the future. As a teacher, we must understand that or acknowledge that all of our students come from a variety of backgrounds, whether it be culture, race, religion, academic ability, anything along those lines. So each student is bringing something different into the classroom, and that can be utilized to better implement instruction to help them achieve their academic goals. One of the things I would do is first encourage and model active learning. By doing this, what I plan to do is provide motivation and guidance in their academic studies and ways or strategies for them to overcome difficulties in the classroom. By active learning, what I mean is they would be engaged. We would activate prior knowledge. We would, have classroom discussions. We would work individually. We would work in small group settings. What I'm trying to do there is have them first build up their social skills, but also have them utilize the strategies that I hope to implement on them so that they can guarantee academic success. It's very challenging in this day and age to work with students who may have disabilities or students from diverse backgrounds. But that doesn't mean it can be a negative. I think of it as a positive. If I can incorporate student-specific, let's say, culture, religion, race, into the classroom lessons, it's more relatable to them. They are able to relate to the material, and furthermore, that would allow them to, access and recall on a more steady basis than opposed to some kind of material that they have, one, maybe no interest in, or two, maybe they can't relate to. So my goal was to be make every lesson relatable and explain the real world, not consequences, but the real world applications of the knowledge. I would continue working with diverse students in what I would call small group settings to allow them to share and interact with their peers, all under the umbrella of my guidance as an educator. And what I would be doing is being like a facilitator. So my main goal would to be, them learn the academic material directly, but through small group settings and individual lessons, what I would be doing is monitoring their progress and guiding them more in the right direction. Not giving them the answers, but giving them a little push or a suggestion where they could be more successful and access the information a little bit more clearly. One of the things I strive to do when I do small group projects or small group work is I don't base it on um, like content. I base it on student ability. So it might be varying. So I may, in some circumstances, use the opportunity of small group work to use students who may be higher level, for lack of a better term, to work with students who may be a lower level. And both students could benefit from this situation. The higher level student, in the act of explaining what you understand and how to approach new information and instructional materials, that would benefit and reinforce their knowledge. And then for the student who may be a little bit lower, they are benefiting from a peer telling them how they can do the same, how they can access and gain this knowledge. And it's a little bit more informal setting at that point. What I also strive to do, which is something that's been something new that I've been experimenting with, is project-based learning. And when I first came into it, I had a very elementary understanding of what that term meant. So I thought it was like making posters or doing Google Slides. But project-based learning is supposed to be an independent study in which the students they have an objective, they have a goal to reach, but the path to get there is up to them. It's to be determined by the student, and it gives them the academic freedom and the hopefully it builds the confidence in these students where they are able to implement those strategies and that information for a more effective and long lasting term. As always with any special education classroom, my goal would to be to differentiate for each student's specific needs, to scaffold and provide them assistance when needed, and with the hopes of that scaffolding eventually becoming obsolete or not necessary. So the student has shown success, and if it is necessary, they might need more intervention, might need increases in strategies and techniques, which is completely fine, and I'm prepared to do that. What I want to emphasize, though, is student reflection. I believe that these students need to be self-aware of what the goals are they are trying to achieve, what steps they are taking to achieve those goals, and if they may fall short, why is that? And I believe through my educational experience that I'm well equipped to provide that kind of guidance and instruction, saying, let's address what the issue is. We might be missing, let's say, a reading goal. How can we improve our standing? How can we improve what we're doing to make sure that we reach these goals, building self-confidence, building knowledge, and making sure that these students truly understand what the educational process is and how they can achieve it. I appreciate your time. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.